Hi, I'm Paul Pasolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center at ivymasters.com, and today we're going to look at the 9th question from Digital SAT Test 2 Module 2 from the Bluebook app, the easier set of math questions, and it reads, what is one possible solution to the given equation? For that, what you could do is you could plug it into Desmos. And how would you plug it into Desmos? Well, it was the absolute value. How do you get the absolute value? On your keyboard, I'm going to show you how to do it with your keyboard and with your Desmos keyboard. On your keyboard, you hit Shift, and then you could also hit underneath the backspace button on the top right of your keyboard. It's above the Enter button. You hit that, and you can see there's a line standing straight up. That will give you an absolute value. What we had inside the absolute value is x minus 10. We're going to close the absolute value, and then, or x minus 5, and then equals 10. But if you want to get a number answer, that instead of putting x, you're going to put x1. Just type x and 1, and it'll write the 1 as a subscript. Minus 5 is the rest of it. And now I'm going to use my Desmos keyboard to close that absolute value, just so you see two different ways. If you prefer using Desmos keyboard, you can click bottom left where the Desmos keyboard is, and to the bottom left of that Desmos keyboard, just above ABC, below the opening parenthesis, you see the absolute value of A. Hit that, that will close. You could use that to open or close. You could use your keyboard to open or close. Instead of using the equal sign, you're going to use the tilde. So to use the tilde with the keyboard, hit Shift, and all the way in the top left, below the escape above the tab, you'll see that there's a tilde. Alternately, on your Desmos keyboard, you hit ABC, and the bottom right, there's a tilde there as well. And then I'm going to write 10, and then notice down here, it tells you x1 equals negative 5. Just write in negative 5, and you have your answer. Alternately, what could you do? Alternately, if you were to plug this in, and just as is, as it appeared, then you would see that you'd get a line through negative 5. So you can mark your answer and move on. If you did, usually there are two absolute value answers. So if you were looking for the other, if I just zoom out, I could see the line going through 15. But notice if I click on this line, it doesn't give me the coordinate or anything like that. So that's one of the reasons I think that this first method, x1 with the tilde, is a little bit easier. Alternately, you could also do it by hand. Let's see how you do it by hand. Now, if you could imagine x minus 5, if inside that absolute value you get a positive 10, absolute value positive 10 is 10. If inside that absolute value you get a negative 10, absolute value negative 10 is 10. For that reason, as long as the absolute value is isolated, you could write the other side as positive and as negative. So in other words, I'd have x minus 5 equals 10. And then I'd also have x minus 5 equals negative 10. And in both these cases, I got to add 5 to both sides in order to get my x alone. Here we cancel. You get x equals 15. If that's the first answer you get, just mark your answer, move on. Here you get x equals negative 5, which is, we got both these answers in Desmos with the lines. We got the x equals negative 5 with the tilde and the x1. The only drawback of the tilde and x1 is you're only going to get one answer. If you needed like sum of solutions and you needed both answers, then you'd want to graph it. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has difficulty with absolute value questions. Is there any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT? Leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Check out our 1-minute video on Shorts and YouTube, and have a great day.